Before leaving, please remember to make a contribution to all of my thousands of hours of work here. PayPal, Patreon, or fundraiser in the description below or on the China Rising Radio Sinoland article page. Thank you.
By the way, before I get started, for the video watchers, I apologize. You can see the green screen behind me. I can't do a proper green screen right now because my ring light that my daughter bought me in Thailand is flickering on and off, and I think it probably just got beaten to death on the boat from the truck from Chiang Mai to Bangkok, and then the boat from Bangkok to Le Havre, and then the truck from Le Havre to Arromanches. Anyway, I will get it replaced. Please forgive me. Was Huawei CFO Meng Wanzhou set free by Ottawa because Canada was snubbed by the USA for its controversial anti-China alliance with the UK and Australia, AUKUS, called AUKUS? Question mark. Trudeau just got re-elected PM. Prime Minister, the plot thickens. Pictured above, it must have surely hurt Canada's feelings of imperial importance by not being included in the September 15 US-UK-Australia anti-China alliance called AUKUS. As well, Justin Trudeau just got re-elected Prime Minister. Why not a little revenge and force the return of Meng? Let's get started. Franklin Delano Roosevelt wrote in his private letters that nothing in politics, and we can add geopolitics, happens by accident. Who, when, where, and how is always predetermined by the hidden why. On 15 September, the USA, UK, and Australia announced a very controversial anti-China alliance abbreviated AUKUS, AUKUS. This was not only unexpected in China, but it was also a big surprise all across Europe as well. However, China is a member of the Five Eyes Espionage Alliance, comprised of the Anglo-Saxon United States, Canada, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. We can forego New Zealand since it is the smallest member of the group and has always been considered eccentric compared to the rest. After all, since 2012, they have not bent to Uncle Sam's directives to extradite Kim.com on bogus charges of racketeering. Nonetheless, Canada, being the USA's next-door neighbor and a loyal vassal lapdog for Washington, likes to think it can punch above its weight. Being a privileged member of Five Eyes, it is more than likely that Canada got a whiff of what was going down the pike as far as the AUKUS anti-China alliance is concerned. Did they protest behind closed doors for being snubbed? The one issue that remained was the national election for Prime Minister, which took place on 20 September. Justin Trudeau won, but lost ground versus his party's competitors. On 16 October 2021, there was a scheduled interministerial meeting where Huawei CFO Meng Wanzhou's nearly 3-year judicial travesty was grinding on in Vancouver, Washington, and in the big lie propaganda machine, the BLPM. As I recently wrote, even mainstream journalists were beginning to say, enough is enough, let Meng go and get the two Michaels. Get back the two Michaels who are imprisoned in China. It is no secret that the U.S. Department of Justice, U.S. DOJ, has been in discussions with Meng and her legal team for at least a year to get her released and not be extradited. As is always the case, it is a question of on what terms. Earlier, I reported that U.S. DOJ was insisting on a deferred prosecution agreement, DPA, and if you have not read my expose on HSBC, be sure and read it. It's all about their DPA, which essentially makes you a snitching, framing up whore for Uncle Sam for 5 years, for the latter to attack and arrest the deep state's many enemies. It goes without saying that Meng refused and offered her much more lenient conditions. Therefore, it is not out of the question that once Trudeau got reelected, Ottawa told Washington behind closed doors, "Thanks for screwing us over in AUKUS. We're loyal and faithful to you. We've even taken huge heat and destroyed our credibility by kidnapping and locking down Meng for the last 3 years. We're pissed. Therefore, we're going to release Meng now, whether you like it or not." At that point, US DOJ could have called Meng's lawyers and said, "You know, your soft terms to get Meng released, we accept them unconditionally, and we're in a hurry. Shall we quickly write up an internal protocol?" To which Meng and company would have said, "Yes." Meanwhile, of course, Canada had been in constant contact with Baba Beijing about getting the two Michaels released. Ottawa could have called Beijing and said, "If we release Meng unconditionally on her terms in the next few days, will you release the two Michaels?" To which Baba Beijing would have replied, "Sounds good to us. It's a deal." Why? The two Michaels were caught red-handed spying in China and DPRK, and I'm going to write an expose on them. I've built up a heck of a dossier on them. Baba Beijing had surely gotten everything they wanted out of their cases, including their networks, collaborators, and modus operandi. Last month, Michael Kovrig had been sentenced to 11 years in prison, and Michael Spavor was not far behind. Kovrig's harsh sentence was a very public warning to all other foreign business people to think twice before trying to be a patriotic hero or James Bond. Thus, it was a great time to be magnanimous and show Chinese soft power to the rest of the world. At which point, Canada and the USA likely brushed over the AUKUS snafu, coordinated the BLPM announcement, and Meng was set free, as if it were big, bad, imperial bully Uncle Sam who was making all the decisions. Will we ever know the truth? Time will tell. This is Jeff J. Brown signing out. Have a great day.
China Rising Radio Sinoland and China Tech News Flash signing out. Please make a contribution to all of my hard work. Thank you.